Dear all, welcome back to this next session. In today's video, we'll be discussing about my Uber online assessment journey for SG1, how that was, what happened, and which round actually failed. So, the journey started with one line email. So let's start with that email first, so that I can display you perfectly. So one day this email came to me about the ST1 assessment that you can see here. The next ST1 assessment and interview schedule. So they gave me a detailed schedule about Uber assessment. So let's look one by one what were the steps in the schedule. So first, if you notice at stage 1, this is written about one line assessment. So this was a round in which round I was actually asked about the data structures and algorithm question, and there are actually 3 questions. So we'll be discussing about the level of question, what questions they were, and what was the questions difficulty level, and what should you target. So this was first one line assessment, one day 24th at time 8:30 p.m. exactly. At night I sleep, but that day I actually performed examinations. Now about the important technical guidelines, they gave me all those guidelines. They also gave me guidelines to uninstall OBS Studio or any other virtual camera software. So the camera software that I am using right now. So second, after that round, if you are qualified in that round, second you will be moved to the BPS round on March 10, which will be consisting of general coding assessment. They will provide you another round of coding and high level design. This is very important for Uber that they ask high level design. So you might be thinking, what is high level design, if you have no information. So if you are preparing for top tier companies like Uber, Databricks, Stripe, then you should know high level design also. Now after step 3, in the business interview, so the business interviews has 3 coding rounds. So if you first look, the first coding round were data structure and algorithms. That means after 2 rounds you again had to perform another data structure and algorithms round. After that, low level design round. This is another important thing, the low level design round. You had to perform low level design round also. And then collaboration and leadership interview round. So they are how do you communicate, how do you collaborate. So this is another important round. So there are around 5 or 6 rounds. So after, if you qualify 5 or 6 rounds, then you will get placed in the Uber online assessment. So what happened with me was, actually I had very tough question, and I was beginner right then when I got the assessment suddenly, and I failed in the assessment. So look, what are the questions. I was actually not aware of this question right then, but now I'm aware. So let's look at the questions. So okay, now we discuss about the 3 questions that I was asked in the Uber online assessment. So first question, there was some questions like color encoding or decoding. So I actually don't remember the first question, and I felt quite hard, like that was their Uber system related some questions. So I mark it as humming coding type of question. The question was typically related to Uber. So if you know about this question, they were related that there is some signal type of system and distributed structure. I even don't know the question because I gave this online assessment 4 months back. So this was first question. Second question was medium level or hard level question. So this is also hard level question, that was from linked list, and that was second question. That was I'm forgetting right. And the second question was LRU cache. This is very famous question in linked list, LRU cache. So if you don't know the algorithm that you have to utilize for LRU cache, that is simple. You have to use in doubly linked list, DLL, and you have to use hash map also for that situation. And you have to use such an operation, because in LRU cache what you have to do, you have to perform both the insertion, traversal, wall type operation in just big of one operation, in just big of one runtime complexity. So I was provided with LRU cache then, and for in that time I was not prepared for this round also. So this was about second question. And the third question, the most important one, they marked this third question as hard. I felt LRU cache also this time hard. So the third question was from DSA algorithm. This is from graph, and graph's a DSU algorithm. So the question was some connectivity type of issue, but you have to solve utilizing DSU, disjoint set union. So that is the algorithm. If you know the find union, so if you know the algorithm, you can easily solve those 3 questions. So at the first round, that were questions. So if you are preparing for Uber round, so you should chase medium plus hard questions mainly. I think that's so. that you should chase. So if you are actually targeting a top MNC, so my recommend for you is don't just chase top MNC, get into corporate and then keep growing, because data structure algorithm rounds, they give you one round sometimes after a lot of hundred of applications, and suddenly if you fail in one round then you get disqualified. So better you get into MNCs and then keep growing. So okay, let's meet in the next video session.